Alright, so in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a surreal or a manipulated image by bringing multiple images into each other and creating something completely new. So it's sort of like an illusion, but you start out with nothing and you try and make it look like something. So I'm going to start out by bringing in my background images. Now you can see it's way too big, so I'm going to rescale that. Alright, so I'm going to have this image be roughly halfway, maybe half of the screen. There we go. Now I'm going to come in and bring in my second image. Alright, so as you can see, I don't really want this other sky, so I'm going to have to use the erase, or if you know how layer mask, you can layer mask if you want to. So I'm going to get rid of what I don't want. Alright, so when I'm done, I'm just going to have this grassy area right here. So I'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, I got rid of the rest of the image, and I'm going to bring this up a bit more. We'll also bring this down a bit. Here we go. And as you see, it looks very much like a line. You can tell that it's two separate images. So because of the coloring. Now I'm going to come in here and use the curves tool, and if you know what this is, I would highly suggest you using this. If you don't know, I would watch a video and learn how to use the curves tool. I love this tool. It's easily one of my favorites. So there we go. It's a bit better. It's looking a bit better. It looks more like it's a comparable image. It looks more like it was one picture. But you can still very much see the line here. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to bring my rate down a bit with the smudge tool. I'm just going to smudge the line a bit, just make it a bit blurry, so it's not just such a straight, perfect line right down the middle of the image. Now you can make this smudge a lot more subtle and make it a lot neater, but for the sake of time I'm just going to do a quick little smudge. See, I wish I used a bit of a smaller brush so you can't tell, but that's basically what you want. Now, next I'm going to bring in the first thing I'm going to add to this. I'm going to add this German castle here. Alright, so that's much too big. So I'm just going to scale that down. Scale down a bit more. Now if you use these, if you connect these chains, it'll scale it down correctly, so it won't lose any information. But if you want to be able to manipulate it in any true way, and make it wider or taller, but want to keep the good look, it just takes practice. So I'm just going to use the crop tool to get rid of a lot of it. I don't need to make the erasing easier, or layer masking easier, whatever one you wish to use. Now once it's going to be a while to get all these little crevices out, so I'll be right back when my castle is properly cut out. Alright, so as you can see, I have my castle cut out. Now you can see a little bit of the former background, but where I'm putting this castle, you don't really need it. So I'm going to link the chain, bring it down, and go plop this castle on the top of the mountain up here. You can see it's way too big still. Even as smaller as I've made it, it's still way much too large. Alright, so it's decent looking. I can rotate to make it look a little better, but that's ultimately that's what I want. So now it looks pretty, square, doesn't it? So I'm going to use the erase tool to get rid of small portions of the castle and make it look like the rock is overcropping the edge of it. Just to make it a bit more jagged bottom, especially right here. So it looks like that tower's coming up from behind the ridge. Just doing that a little bit makes it look a lot better from afar. It makes it look like it's more of a 3D. Now I'm going to bring in my next. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to cut it out and be right back to you. Alright, so I cut out my little carriage right here. I'm going to smallify it. Or scale it. It won't be fun or not. You didn't notice what I did there? I used the flip tool and did a horizontal flip so it's facing the other way. So I want to lean it down a bit. Bring it way back there. Now that's still a huge horse and carriage. So I'm gonna scale it down just a tad bit more at this point. It lost a lot of its detail, so if you zoom in, you can't really see much of anything. It actually looks better when you zoom out. Now, I'm gonna do something I forgot to do on the hassle a moment ago, is to make it sort of fit in with the color scheme. This is very important if you want to make it look good. Try to make the sun look like it's beating down. And you see that castle is very white, not much shadow to that castle, is there? So come in curves, make it a bit darker. Since it's on that mountain and the sun's right there, let's bring up some light. A bit too much. There we go. So it's just a very subtle difference, but still a difference. And in the long run, it makes it look better. So, the next image is going to be a little balloon. Now this is very easy to do if there's not any other colors. So make sure you have your alpha channel. Come in here with the select by color tool. And select the white, and it's gone. So now you have just a regular old balloon. That's the fastest way to cut out, but it's very limited when you can do that. So I'm going to make it smaller, move it up, then curve it out. Now as you see, when I raise the light on it, looks like the light's coming from the right, and the shadow's on the left. Well, I can't have that, so I just do a horizontal flip, and now it looks amazing. We'll bring in some birds next. Whoops. Hope I have a new file. We'll bring in some birds next. And my AC-130 gunship. And last but not least, my waterfall image. And I'm going to cut out all these. I'll be right back. Alright, so you can see I have my 3 cutout images. And the first one I'm going to deal with is my waterfall here. So I'm going to take this waterfall. And no, I'm not going to rotate. I'm going to scale it up. I'm going to have it coming off that mountain. Now right here is where I don't want the perfectly scaled option, so I'm going to come down. I'm going to go over the background a bit in both ways. Alright, so I'm going to erase the image so it's not, so it looks like it's going behind this ridge. Then erase up here so it looks like it's coming off the mountain right there. Could have been better, but then I come in here, bring this shadow up a bit. Get a bit darker. Now it looks like it's in the shadow of that hill right there behind it. Boom, much better. And if you want to make it look a tad bit better, I'm just going to smudge this upper part right here. Smudge the bottom to create this sort of like the foam effect when it's hitting the ground. Alright, next I'm dealing with this AC-130. I'm going to make it smaller, to scale. And have it come over this mountain right here. That doesn't really need any manipulation. And then these birds here. Whoops. Birds here.
It looks like one of those old ones. I like the purple rims. They're pretty ghetto.
Have them flying over here. Yeah, maybe you'll hear in the background another class just started. I'm pretty loud, may I add, so sorry for any background noise. Now I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to bring it up over here. It's just a small little thing to take up some room, but I'm going to erase these birds right here. Bring it up. Horizontal flip. Then really and make it absolutely tiny. No, they're pretty much like 1 pixel by pixel. Alright, finally 4 pixels wide. But oops, way too far out. So you can barely see them off in the distance, but they add something. Adds a little something to the image. Now I'm about to add the very last thing. I'm gonna bring in this lady, this nice lady, and then cut her out. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got this horse nice cut out. Gonna curve it up. Then one thing I need is a shadow. I'm gonna take this, horizontal flip it, then rotate it. There you go. So now you got a good shadow coming down from the upper left. And obviously it's not a shadow. So I'm going to come in here, go to levels, and just drop it all the way down. Now that's pretty dark, right? So I'm going to line up that shadow, and bring the opacity up. Then boom, I got a shadow coming down from that Knight Rider right there. Then project's done. You got a little surreal image right here. And we want to make everything just to look a bit nicer. You can merge all this down. Then you can darken the whole image, laying it up. There we go. It's nice. So that was my practice, and then that's the one I just created, so I like the second one a bit better. Anyway, that's how you create a surreal illusioned image. Good luck, guys.